everybody. Welcome to the Brandi Pam podcast. I'm your host, Brandi.
And I'm Pam. Please be sure to like and subscribe so that way you'll always be notified when we have new episodes.
Yeah, and if you love the content that we're creating, go ahead and pass it on to your friends and let them know what's popping over here. All right? So let's get right into it. Today we're going to talk about transitions. And the reason I want to talk about transitions is because some of them can be quite difficult. We're going through transitions all the time, but some of them can be more painful than others, and we just kind of want to touch on some of those topics. Let's start with how this hair transition is going.
It looks nice. I like what you're doing. It's a cute little short and you kind of mold it.
I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
I really do, because you're my very best friend.
Mm-hmm.
On a side note, your lip is popping today.
Is it?
It's popping. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah, but transitional hairstyles can be really uncomfortable because sometimes your hair can be like too short or too long or both, for any style that you want to achieve. And everybody else might be like, oh, that was cute. And you think they're trying to be nice because you know how you like to look. You know what I mean?
Let's think back to during COVID, when we both cut our hair very short.
Oh, it was
and
more than short. It was gone.
Yours was shorter than mine, but it was a lot to get used to. First of all, I felt like there was so much of my face showing. I could not hide behind my hair anymore. And then figuring out what to do when I woke up in the morning. It was it was good that it happened during COVID so that nobody had to see me every day as I was struggling, just my students on Zoom or whatever.
You missed that part of my life because I did not post any pictures. I didn't really go out anywhere. I couldn't wait for my hair to be long enough for some extensions. Mm-hmm. Could not wait. I kept on pulling it and stretching it yo, who gonna braid this hair? Who gonna braid this hair?
But even before I did the big chop, remember I started just cutting it. I was like, my hair is so damaged. I just started cutting a little bit and then more and more. And then every time I tried to style it, it was it just wasn't working. I was like, I need a professional.
And
and
nobody could tell you that you look great because you feel I don't know, it's just not your personality. It doesn't go with you. So you just don't even, you're just okay, you're being sweet. Thank you.
Right.
No thanks.
But I'm back into that transitional phase, I think, with hair. But it's not because it's growing out of some short haircut. It's because I'm kind of growing out the color a little bit.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of damage done there. So now I'm all right, what's the new look for this phase?
Right.
And
of your life.
Yes.
Who am I now?
And I want something low maintenance. At this age, I don't want to be fooling around with my hair all the time. I just want something that I can kind of just get up and go. And I've realized why, when a lot of women get older, they end up cutting their hair off and, wearing these short hairstyles. Yeah.
They retire their hair.
Yep.
They're okay, my hair is retired now. For instance, all summer, I would do a relaxer and cut my hair in a really, really short pixie or get my hair cut in a really short pixie just so I don't have to style it at all.
Mm-hmm.
I would just go swimming and be and just be
yeah,
super, super cute. Everybody's different.
And I want to be able to do that. I'm not doing the whole relaxer
Everybody's
thing.
different when, with the summer hairstyles, but for me, it's no hair is better.
Right. Mm-hmm. And braids, I feel for the past, I say past 2 years, that they have been my saving grace for transitioning from a hairstyle and growing things out. But I really do think that my hair needs a break from all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if y'all have any tips on what to do, because I've been looking at some of these prices for hairstylists and I am astonished, and I don't think I'm ready to pay that much money for a silk press.
I feel you
and
on
a
that.
Cut.
I feel you on that.
What's up with that?
Because we need to be styled so frequently that there is no way I can keep up with the cost of that maintenance.
No.
It's just too much. Especially because, I wash my hair a lot. I cannot feel any...
You be every 2 days. Girl.
I don't want to feel anything in my hair. I do not want it to smell bad. I just need my hair to be clean all the time.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, I don't like it to absorb fragrances. If I'm around cigarette smoke, I will wash my hair that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? And that used to be me, where I couldn't stand like any kind of like smell in my hair. Like I felt like it absorbed everything. And for some reason now I'm just, I don't know, it's not the priority anymore.
Yeah.
But
well, you know,
it is something that's I'm still worried about, like as far as like how I want to look. Speaking of which,
Yeah.
since we talked about the hair, the weight thing, which I have to give you a compliment because you have been working so hard over the past couple of years.
I have.
You tightened things up. You lost a little weight.
I needed to. For my own self-esteem. Honestly, I wasn't even trying to get dressed. Like, nothing looked good. I'm short. I'm 5 feet tall, and I was weighing like way more than I should have for my height, or according to like what the chart says about how much you should weigh for 5 feet tall. And I didn't have any muscle definition. So I was just like, you know what, let me just lose the weight and then start lifting weights. And it's working. Like, I wasn't seeing results right away. And that's the hard part when you're walking past the mirror at the gym, or even if you just get winded on the treadmill and you know people are watching you, they can see you. I was concerned about that. I wouldn't even step foot in the gym.
I remember you telling me like all of your fears. I'm just like, what? Just go ahead and go. Nobody's thinking about you. But it is hard, like if it's something you've never done before.
Now that I'm there and I see a lot of people working very hard and they might be dealing with a lot more weight than I even had on my body, I commend them for going in and trying and working at it every day. And I've seen other people transition. So like now I didn't even wait for a New Year's resolution at that point. Like I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start. It was November. I started November 2021, and I've been consistent with it. You know, I didn't change much about my diet, but I was like, you know what, let me just go every day and do something. Like even if it's not an hour on the treadmill like I was doing, I'm doing something, you know. And you know, it's working out. I mean, I'm working out.
Kudos.
I'm working out.
I'm getting there where, so my problem is when I look in the mirror, I still think that I'm pretty cute. I mean,
you always be like, I'm a dime. I don't know.
I don't know. I look and I kind of wish that I would be more affected by what I see.
I would not wish that on you.
I
wouldn't wish that on you.
To push me toward the gym more, but I'm like, nah, it's still cute. So
I wish I looked in the mirror. Even when other people are like, oh my God, you look so great. I'm like, I got work to do.
No, occasionally I do, like, I see that belly and I'm like, all right.
I'm hard on myself. Yeah. Like when it comes to my looks.
Yeah.
You know, like I gotta have everything slick. You know, I won't even go outside unless my hair looks wet.
Yeah. But you know what? If I see myself in a picture and like my belly's kind of like hanging a certain way and I can see it, or my arm is just like laying flat and it's a little bit bigger than it should look, and that's when I'm like, all right, I gotta go to the gym. Or if it's like somebody takes it from a bad angle, you can see like the double chin.
Oh gosh,
I'm like,
I cannot stand that. It's like, why? And then they save the picture of just like themselves looking cute and you look a mess in the picture.
He's like, why did you put that?
Like,
why'd you post that on social media?
The ugliest picture of me? Like disgusting. I look like all bajiggity. But you know, you like that word, bajiggity?
Explain it to me.
I got that word from this movie called The Sweetest Thing with Cameron Diaz and Christina Applegate.
Okay.
It came out in the early 2000s, I think.
Okay.
Look it up. Get into it. It's called The Sweetest Thing. It was like one of my favorite movies.
I remember,
so
yes, you always talked
about it. It was so
about
fun.
it.
It was the funnest movie. I'm laughing thinking about it. Y'all got to watch it. Hope they have it on Netflix soon.
Oh, yeah.
Or like somewhere. Anyway. So, yeah, that's a very uncomfortable transition, you know, dealing with your weight, walking past the mirror, knowing that, like, you're working your butt off, but your butt ain't coming off, you know, or I don't want my butt to come off. I wanted to build my butt, but, you know, I just was like, this is not exactly where I want to be. So there are some tougher transitions that have, you know, made me cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you know you have to go back to work after you have a baby. It's like, dang, like I've been home all this time.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with my children, dealing with like a sick parent, been through a couple of deaths in the family, all these different transitions that were much more serious than dealing with like a hair transition or a skin transition when you like go from having pimples to no pimples or something like that. You know, like those things that, you know, make
Just
you
kind of superficial. Like,
yeah, like all those surface things that you're like, all right, I'll get through it. And nobody's looking at it but you. But when you go back to work, whatever work that is, like I stopped doing music for a very, very long time. And then one day I was like, that piece of me is missing. Oh no, like I can't let that be missing forever. Like I wanted to have kids and everything, but I don't want to lose all of myself to having children. And then it felt selfish to even want something for myself. It was just like, what do I do with that? So it's hard to find balance, you know?
so now that you're at that phase of like going back to work, what is the hardest part about all of that?
Knowing that I have to go back to work and make money, you know? Like
You mean
Like-
feeling like the
like for a paycheck. Like just thinking about
what
like
were you working for before?
well, when I went back when I was working
You was going in for fun.
no, when I went to work when I went to work before, I was working in like high-end retail. So working for high-end like working in high-end retail, I don't want to do that now that I have kids. Like working in retail, like no diss to anybody who works retail, but those hours are not for somebody who wants to be home for dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I want to be home for dinner, so I'm like, dang, what should I do? So, you know, like I'm looking for something where I can be home for dinner, be able to still spend time with my children, or just something reasonable where the time is balanced between like work and home life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something that's been quite difficult. And I've been like, you know,
I think that that's
really in my
something
head about
that
it.
every mom kind of struggles with when they have to, if they do have to go back to work, or if they decide to go back to work, trying to balance spending time with their family, whatever it is that they're doing at work. And if you have a job where work doesn't stay in that building, you know,
Yeah,
you have to
yeah.
bring it home with you, that makes it even more difficult.
Yeah, I mean that'll be you.
Well,
Because you used to have to do that.
I don't do that anymore.
Yes, I know.
Everything is like it gets done there. I don't bring things home. I mean, I might bring my laptop home, but I'm not opening it. I bring it home just in case. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
no, nothing's.
Well, you know, I would hope that I don't have to like bring any work home, but if I do have to, it'll just be like just to, you know, make that transition a little bit easier so that the next day at work I'm more prepared. But other than that, like once I get off and running at this new job that I'm calling my new job to fruition, we are going to get something good and we're going to get something lucrative because I am really concerned that I am not of high value because of all the time that I spent not in the corporate world and not.
You mean not of
know,
high value to an employer?
like to an employer, of
Okay.
course, because I know that I'm valuable at home. Like they can't do anything without me here. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing happens
Mom, where are my
without.
shoes? Mom, what's
I
for
know.
dinner?
Oh my gosh, where's my other shoe is my favorite question. Where is my other shoe? Like I took one of your shoes and hid it from you. Like I did not do that. Where's my toothbrush? Why is that missing? Like why?
So you mentioned kind of going back to work. What are some of the other transitions that you feel were most difficult for you?
Just transitioning from maybe like difficult communication and friendships where you just know that not necessarily that you've outgrown somebody, because I don't truly believe in like outgrowing another person, like you're growing and that person isn't. Like you're both growing, you know.
But you know what? Both people could be growing, but they're just growing in different directions. Like one person is kind of
Yeah.
going this way, and another person is going this way. So it's
Yeah.
like you're just growing apart.
So here's my dilemma with getting out of a friendship. Coming out of a friendship is really hard because you know, you invest time just like you do in any relationship. You invest all this time, you share secrets, and you especially worry about that kind of stuff. I think like I worry about like, oh my gosh, my friends know a lot of stuff about me.
Ooh.
You know what
Don't
I mean?
if y'all want to know,
Yeah, but
come with the right dollar amount.
my friends know a lot about me, and I don't keep secrets. I have a hard time with secrets, so I'm not really all that like I don't keep my cards like close to the chest or anything like that. Like I'm not like you. I can't just be like, It's on a need to know basis. Like you don't have to ask me what happened over the weekend. I'm like, ooh, let me tell you how much fun I had, and let me tell you what I did, and let me tell you about all the shenanigans. Okay, but also I suppose like I'm not really afraid to be myself. So I guess I'm not really that scared, but I'm just saying, like, you share secrets with somebody for years and years and years. You share good times, bad times, ups, downs, tears, joy, all kinds of things with a person. And when you realize that your communication is just starting to kind of like fail, and you have to move on without that person.
So have you experienced that where like there's been friendships where you needed to transition out of that relationship? Because like we've been friends since we were 14, so we haven't like
we've taken some time to be mad at each other before. But
not for extended periods of time though.
I think the difference. Well, no, I don't actually. Okay, so now that we're older, especially like now that we're more mature, and we realize like that there's really nobody like you. It's like there's nobody like you in the whole wide world, and nobody gets me the way that you do, and I'm really grateful for that.
Aww.
I'm grateful for that because honestly, absolutely nobody has my back like you have my back. Nobody. So
I feel the same.
I'm gonna cry.
Don't cry. Why are you crying? What's
Okay.
Just the box.
Why?
You gotta get the box.
Are we on Oprah? Oh no, we're on Oprah. Okay, so nobody gets me the way that Pamela does. I have had to transition from, being someone's friend to like not being their friend anymore. And it hurts. It hurts a whole lot because there are things that I miss about the relationship, but there's also things in the relationship that weren't quite like aligning with my opinions and beliefs and things like that. But it was almost like the way we were communicating about it was oppositional rather than trying to understand each other. So that doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't work. Like, in any kind of relationship, romantic relationship, any kind of partnership.
So when that happens, like, I don't know. Because, I have had some relationships where we kind of transitioned, but we didn't explicitly say, like, we're breaking up or, like, we're not friends anymore.
Some people just stop talking to you, and you be like, yo, what happened?
What happened? Like,
what did I do to fracture? Yeah,
you send them.
You said the word fracture.
Yeah.
Before, like, how did I fracture this relationship? I'm like, oh, that sounds so mature. I love that word. I'm gonna use it.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can start using bajiggity if you want.
Thank you. I was gonna ask.
If you could.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have permission.
Thanks.
Bajiggity.
But like, I don't know. So. How do we do that? Like, when we know that we've grown apart from somebody, like, do we just let that happen? Or you feel like we should have, like, an actual conversation about it and say, like, hey, this isn't working out anymore? It's kind of weird, right?
It is.
Sometimes you just got to, like, let things...
You know what's more awkward, though?
What?
When you still have, like, a mutual friend and you're not allowed... Like, you aren't allowed to ask about... what's going on with that person, because it just seems a little like, yo, don't ask me about her. If you want to know, you call her. But it's like, nah, because that's going to open up a can of worms.
Especially if both people are like, I don't want you to bring up this person's name. Like, I don't want to know what they're doing. You know that they kind of do, but they don't.
Well,
they just don't want to talk about that person.
Let's keep it all the way gangster right now. Let's keep it all the way gangsta. I don't mind whatever it is that person is doing ever, because I never had any animosity toward them. Like, I don't sever ties with somebody because I don't love them anymore. I sever ties with somebody to give them the space that they were wiggling away to get, because anybody who starts smoke with me, they obviously don't want me in their life like that. Like, I can't imagine that somebody would constantly combat you that doesn't really just need space from you. You know
and they might need space, but it's not because there's obviously because like there's a communication issue probably with the two of you, and sometimes like the trust is broken in either on your side or on their side.
Yeah.
And
you can't get it back.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it's hard.
Trust is
It's
something
hard.
trust is something that you are not going to be able to really spring back from. I don't think ever. Like once trust is broken. Trust is like one of those things that's like, you ever break like a ceramic mug and you glue it back together, but now you see like a coffee stain in the mug. It's always there. You can always see that fracture. Fracture. Oh my gosh. Why are you being all bajiggity about it? I just wanted to slide that in there. But yeah, you always still see the crack in it. So it's not like you ever forget that it happened, especially if it comes up even in a minor way ever again. You're like, here it comes. I'm waiting for that blow. You know what I mean? So like, it's a really hard thing to do, to just like maintain a friendship with somebody when you know that no matter what, you're always looking for the breakdown again. You're waiting for that fallout again. And that's why it's just easier to just move on, go your separate ways, wish each other well, and don't badmouth a person. Like, never say, I don't believe in that. Like, I still believe that everybody that I'm not quite close with anymore, or like not close, there's nothing to say about them.
Yeah.
Because they were my friend.
They were your friend at one point in time, and just because they're not anymore, like, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, some people, they don't feel the same way, and they'll just be like yappity yap about, whomever, and I don't want to hear it. I'll tell you right now, I don't want to hear it. Like, if you're not friends with somebody,
she did this to me and she did that.
Yeah,
It's like, well, you know what? Usually in relationships, both people have hurt each other in some way.
I mean, and you know what you did. You know what part you played in that.
Yeah.
And you know what mistakes you made. But you also know that, like, maybe at the time you didn't know it was a mistake or whatever, and maybe somebody misread your actions, but you know what you did. You know what I'm saying? So you can't blame it on the other person. But I think that difficult transitions can really make you see the bright side of things too. Like, remember I was describing to you, like, I felt like I was coming through like this really small hole, and it was so painful. It was almost like I was being rebirthed.
Yeah.
It's like where you just come out screaming, but you can finally breathe when you get out.
Yeah.
So, that happens to you so many times throughout your life, where you shed that skin and like you regenerate.
Regenerate. I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. I think we're doing well.
Yeah.
We're doing well. We're growing.
High five.
Yeah. So, if you like these discussions and you want to go ahead and have these difficult conversations with your besties or with us, then go ahead and subscribe, click the like button down below, subscribe as soon as you like it. I want you to also subscribe, and just keep us in mind so that you can be with us throughout this journey. We just started this podcast because we wanted to, share our ideas. We talk to each other about these kinds of things all the time. So,
All right. Bye.
Wow, that was really abrupt.
Well, you were like going on and
You don't want
on.
to be long-winded.
You were going on and on. I'm like, where are we going with this?
I'm Brandi.
And I'm Pamela.
This
And
is Kelly. And that's Michelle.
she won't let us finish.
Her.
Not Kelly, not Michelle. Her.
Shut up.
Shut